Hello, my lovely sewing friends. I hope you're doing well on this beautiful Sunday. My name is Annette, and I'm sewing in Michigan. I have several things to share with you today. The first is a new make, and it was kind of a fail, but I think I rescued it. So I think in the end it was a success. I'll let you tell me once I explain everything. You might recall in my last video I showed a skirt that I had made, a beautiful paneled skirt that buttoned down the front. And I decided to use that pattern again, but to hack it a little. And you know that old saying about the best laid plans? Yeah. I'll show you what my plans were and then show you what really happened. I decided to make the Clover skirt again, and I'm using this beautiful kind of a brown and peach batik print fabric, which thankfully is not directional because I've had all kinds of headaches with directional prints lately. But I'm going to do something slightly different with it, so we can call it a hack, I guess. With the original Clover skirt, it buttons up the front. So you cut the back on the fold, and there's a seam down the front. I'm flipping that around. So I'm going to cut the front on the fold, which is why this is folded up, because there won't be a seam allowance there. And then I'm going to split the back and insert a zipper. I'm also planning to do a conventional waistband on this one. So it'll zip up and have a button or a hook and eye at the top. And it'll be flat in the front and have side pockets like the other one. But I decided to try to see if a conventional skirt works with this pattern. If I just kind of flip the front and the back around, you can see the fabric here. I'm not a big wearer of brown, but I like the peach in this. I got this fabric at Joann's back in the day. They were having a sale on their batik prints, which were part of their premium cottons section. So they're more expensive cottons, not the quilting cottons, but the dressmaking cottons. And I think I have 5 or 6 yards of it in this piece. I have quite a bit. So I have plenty to make my skirt with. So that is what I have in the works right now. And I am being supervised by this one. Are you making sure I do everything right, Nellie? Yeah, she's making sure. But thankfully she isn't interfering. Well, that was the plan. And I've inserted some pictures here of what the finished skirt really looks like. And you might notice that it doesn't look like what I described. You might notice that it has the button placket down the front like the original skirt did. That's because I failed miserably at inserting a zipper. I don't have a zipper foot for my machine. I have since ordered one because I have avoided zippers for a long, long time. I have some different feet and attachments for my machine that are in a box somewhere, and I don't know where they are. And without that zipper foot, I'm unable to get the stitching close enough to the zipper teeth. So I inserted and took out the zipper 4 times, and it was still looking all wonky and wrong. And in the end, I just gave up. So I had originally cut the front panel on the fold and split the back seam thinking I would insert a zipper there. It didn't work. So I ultimately took the zipper out and flipped the skirt around to put the open seam down the front again, cut out the front facings, and just did the button-up version again. But Further problems ensued, as you can maybe see in the close-up smaller picture here. I sewed on all the buttons, tried it on, and found that the top button seemed to be off center from the rest of them. But if you looked at the strip of buttons, they were all sewed evenly. It turned out that I had made the top buttonhole horizontal, which is what the buttonhole guide asked for, and the rest of the buttonholes vertical. But that horizontal buttonhole, when the button was in there, it was pulling toward the center, pulling toward the center of the skirt, making that button look like it was off kilter from the rest of them, even though the button itself was sewed in the right place. It was the button hole was horizontal instead of vertical, so the button was pulling. So I ended up having to stitch that end of the buttonhole closed a little bit, and then I remade the buttonhole on top of the old one to move it over slightly. So what you're seeing in that smaller picture is one buttonhole on top of another, which is what I had to do in order to make it look like the buttons were all in a straight line once it was all buttoned up. I don't know if any of that made sense, but it was an odyssey, and it was very frustrating after going 4 rounds with the zipper and then having to fuss with that buttonhole. I took that top button off and sewed it back on several times, thinking if I would move the button a little, move it a smidge this way or that, it would solve the problem. But the problem wasn't the button, it was the buttonhole. Anyway, at long last, the skirt is done, so let me show you what it looks like. And now I'm modeling the final product for you. I like the way it turned out. I really like this skirt. I'm not a big wearer of brown, but this beautiful autumnal print is going to make a wonderful addition to my wardrobe. Now, I went out yesterday to find a top that would coordinate well with it, and I went to our local mall for the first time in 3 or more years, probably. And all that's really left in that mall is JCPenney and Macy's, and then, a few other odds and ends, but it's nowhere near as wide a variety of stores as it used to be. There used to be a Dress Barn, which I love to shop at Dress Barn. I shopped there all the time. Dress Barn is still online, but their product line has really changed. It's not what I used to like. Same with Coldwater Creek, same with Christopher and Banks. Those kind of stores I used to like to go to at the mall, but they're gone now, and their online offerings just aren't the same as the in-store offerings used to be. So I basically looked at JCPenney and at Macy's. Macy's had some beautiful things, but a lot of it was really overpriced in my opinion. And JCPenney had, some range of offerings that I liked, and I did try on a few things. A lot of the stuff that's on offer right now is either very teenage-ish and cropped, or made of very flimsy looking materials. They just look like rags on hangers to me. So it was hard to find something I liked. But when I saw this blouse, I thought, that'll work perfectly, because this maroon color picks up the maroon in the print of the skirt. And also, shades of red are better for me around my face. I like to wear red, and I thought this would be a more flattering color on my top half than something brown or beige. So I really like this outfit. I think I'll get a lot of wear out of this blouse with this skirt and with other things. So I will be wearing this in the fall. It is a fall outfit, and we're still in July right now, but I am pleased with how it turned out in the end. I'm wearing Me Made today. This is the Onil blouse by Pauline Alice. It's a free online pattern, the Onil, O-N-I-L blouse. It's an over-the-head square neckline, loose-fitting blouse with puff sleeves. I love it. I've made it over and over, and each time I've made it, I've tweaked the pattern a little bit to get it to fit me the way I really like. I lengthened the body by almost 6 inches because it's very cropped in the original pattern. And I've also lowered the dart point because the original dart point was like this, like pointing up toward the corners of the neckline almost. And so I've lowered it just a little bit to make the darts a little more horizontal. And I bring this up because one of the things I would like to do in the coming week is move the darts on a previous iteration of this blouse. So this kind of falls in the mending, remaking type of category. This is a previous make. It's a little wrinkled, but it's the same blouse. And I absolutely love this fabric. It's a pale purple lavender color with this beautiful blue floral on it, and the blue floral is touched with little bits of gold. So I thought this pattern was so pretty, and I bought this fabric and had it in my stash for a while, trying to figure out what to make out of it, and decided to make this blouse. Now, this was made, you can see Nellie's tail in the camera there. This was made before I lowered the dart, and I wanted to show you the dart in the original. So it's here where I'm pushing it out with my fingers. And you can see how, it's hard to see with the print, but you can see how here's the dart point and then it goes down and here's the side. So it is angled upward like that on both sides, and it ends like right there. Project inspector on duty. Okay, so what I would like to do is open up the side seams, undo that dart, lower the dart point a little bit, redo the dart, and hopefully it's not going to leave needle holes in the fabric. I might throw it in the wash after I do that if it does. If the old dart is still visible, hoping that that might make those threads close up a bit. So that is one of the things that I plan to work on this week, because I haven't been wearing this one and I really do love it. It's just that weird dart placement that when I put it on, it's like my bust is supposed to be much higher than it naturally is. So I want to fix that. Right, Nellie? You want to say hi to the people? Hi, people. In addition to fixing the darts on that blouse, there are a couple of new makes I'd like to get started this week. And the first is this Simplicity pattern 9260, which is a shirt dress that has princess seams going out into this flared skirt. And the reason this caught my eye is that the skirt is similar to these skirts I've been making with the flared out panels. And I think that would be really pretty in a shirt dress. So I would like to try that. And I got this fabric at Fields Fabrics. I know I said I don't wear a lot of brown, and here's another brown background, but it has these kind of purpley gray and navy blue flowers on it, and I bought navy blue buttons to go on this, and it just really caught my eye. I thought that was pretty. So I think I plan to make, if I have enough fabric, I might go for the long sleeve version, but I think I might only have enough fabric for the short sleeve version, because I bought this piece of fabric before I decided what pattern to use. So we shall see. It'll either be the short or the long sleeve version. I will keep you updated on that. And then the other thing I would like to start working on, I've had this pattern for the patina blouse for quite a long time, and I've seen many YouTubers make it, and I love the way it looks. I just haven't gotten around to making it yet myself. I still have this beautiful confetti fabric that came from Beyond the Pink Door that I want to use, and I think that would be really pretty in this blouse. I bought this pattern locally at a small fabric store, so you see there is a, price sticker on it. I like to support small local businesses when I can, so I had gone in there just to have a look, and the only thing I found really was this pattern, but I wanted to get it while I was there. So that is the plan now. I've heard a few things about this blouse from watching people's YouTube videos. One is that there are two neckline options, a higher one and a lower one. I'll have to open up the pattern and see what's what there. I don't want anything too low cut, but we'll see which one works better. The other thing I remember hearing was from Rachel, whose channel is called Stitched Up. Looking at her patina blouse video, which was probably 2 or 3 years ago now. But I remember her saying that the sleeves came up short on her. She's a tall woman with long arms, as am I, and she found that these sleeves were, you can see where the sleeves are hitting the model here. They did not come down to her wrist. And she was saying she wished she had lengthened the sleeves by maybe as much as 3 inches. And so I think I will take that advice, since I want a long sleeve version, and probably lengthen the sleeves myself. Now, I don't know if I will go with the cuff and button or if I will go with just an elasticated wrist. I still have that decision to make, but I believe I have enough fabric here to make the long sleeve version of this. So that's one that I've been wanting to try. So this week's tasks: to fix the darts on that purple blouse, to perhaps get started on this dress and this patina blouse. I might tackle the blouse first. I'm kind of feeling that right now. Thanks for joining us today. Nellie is watching the birdies outside. It's her favorite thing to do. And she's also a cuddle bug. If I sit down, she's instantly in my lap. She is what her foster mama described as a stage 5 clinger, but we like it that way, don't we? Yeah. All right. Have a wonderful week, everybody, and I look forward to talking to you again soon. Bye-bye.